Okay, guys, I am going to start. So, as you know, this is ByteFight, where you have to submit the AI agents to compete. You can check out our prizes on the homepage, where the first place gets $600 in cash prize. All these prices are expected to increase even more because we have potentially secured $1,000 more in funding. There's a good chance we get it. Yeah, I'm going to start with explaining the game now. Yes. Do you want to just okay? Let me do an intro to the game. In the distant digital future, a mysterious virus has wiped out the primordial cyber serpents, leaving behind only the algorithmic energy upon which they feasted. In the aftermath, desperate travelers from other universes began appearing inside the universes, realizing that they could siphon the computational power from this reality to stabilize their own decaying worlds. These were known as painters, and now these painters vie for control over conduits of power in the ashen ruins of this forgotten domain, tethered to their original reality only by the signal beacons that they have brought with them. They know that success will ensure the survival of their existence, and failure will bring catastrophic consequences. You are one of these painters, and this is ByteFight 2026 Paint.
I know that was a big lower, we went pretty complex and pretty fictional. Oh yeah, let's get back to the basics now. So the objectives of the game is to paint. So I know you've probably heard of the paint game. It's a variant of that game. We'll discuss more about it right now. But the basic thing is you want to paint your increase your own paint territory while defeating your opponent's agent and achieving strategic control of the battlefield. So the match can be won in any of the following ways. You either the opponent's stamina collapses, they run out of stamina, they can't make any more moves, so you win. Or your collision resolution. If both agents collide on the neutral plane and your plane territory is more than the opponent's one, then you will win. Additionally, um, uh, additionally, if you win the additionally another way to win is hill dominance. If your agent controls more than 75% of the hills, which we'll talk about later as well, your agent synchronizes the region with your home universe. So it's like your the hills will just become the part of your own territory. This forces all the opposing signals of the other bot to be they can't make any more moves in that region, and you win the match by default.
Yeah, so basically, once you capture 75% of the total hills, so say if there are four hills, if you capture three of them, you win the game completely. So I'm going to go with the game overview. This is our this is our sample game. You can find this later as well in the client and once we upload it. It's a turn-based game which is played on a grid map where each player controls a single agent that moves around painting, capturing hills, competing for resources, making multiple moves, etc. This is what the player agent sprites look like. And the map is from 8 by 8 to 32 by 32. The map will always be symmetric. You will either have vertical symmetry, horizontal symmetry, or rotational symmetry. Each cell on the map will contain certain things. It will either contain a wall, which is an impassable tile. Agents cannot move through a wall. Nothing can spawn in a wall. So if you have to say use an algorithm to find your place to somewhere, you will have to account the walls in between. The cells can have paint. You can paint a cell. The paints can stack up to 3 layers. And if you have painted, the other person cannot paint that cell. We'll expand this on the future as well. A cell may contain one beacon. Beacons act as teleport anchors and count as control cells. We'll explain very soon how you can set up a beacon. And then a cell may contain a hill. It's possible to have a beacon on a hill as well and also to paint a hill. Some cells belong to a hill region. For example, this is a type of the hill. This is a 2 by 2 hill. So this is the hill I was talking about. This is one of the hills. The map may have 10 of these or 4 of these, etc. And you have to capture 75% of these hills. Cells may contain power ups. The power ups are used to increase your stamina, and the power ups spawn symmetrically, so they will always not just spawn at a single location, there will be two at a single time at least. They will spawn at a scheduled interval. You can find these scheduled intervals in the board that is given to you, and the spawn locations are randomly chosen at the start, so you can easily access them even at the start to know when the power ups will spawn in the future. Yeah, to control a single cell, you can either capture the hill, or you can either place a beacon, or you can paint a region. Placing a beacon is used for teleporting, as I just mentioned. Yeah, and now we are going to explain the stamina
Yeah, so
system.
stamina. As we said, stamina is the primary thing that you use to move or make any other actions that you want in the game. If you run out of stamina, that's an immediate loss. So stamina, there are various actions in the game. One of them is painting. You can paint a certain tile within like a 3x3 grid, I think. You can erase your opponent's paint. You can take multiple moves in the same turn, and you can also oh, sorry. Yeah. For all these actions, you need to use stamina. So how do you get stamina? To get stamina, you have to. Stamina regenerates based on your territory control. So each stamina that you get or get more in each turn is calculated as base regeneration. So 5 stamina you get every turn. Territory bonus, so +1 stamina for every 8 cells painted. So for all the cells that you have in the entire game, divided by 8, that's how many you'll get per stamina per turn, and local control bonus. So you get +2 stamina for each of the control cell within a 5x5 area around you that your agent controls.
So these are all summed up to calculate your stamina regeneration for that particular turn.
So yeah, maximum stamina. Each turn you're limited to the maximum stamina that you cannot go past. So it limits the amount of stamina you may hold. Maximum stamina, as I said, increases by capturing hills. Each hill control increases max stamina by 40. So
By default, the max stamina is 100, so every hill you capture, it increases by 40. If someone takes over your hill, the max stamina decreases again.
yeah, paint system. Go.
Right. So basically, you can paint essentially a 9 by 9 square, a 3 by 3 square around you, and you can paint up to 4 layers actually. Yeah, you can paint up to 4 layers, and the paint cost is 15 stamina. And you can also use erase, which costs more stamina, but it instantly wipes out the enemy's paint over a square.
Yeah, erase causes a lot of stamina for you to use. It's 50, if I remember correctly. Next, you have hills. Hills are special map regions, as I mentioned earlier. These hills can be captured if you capture more than 50% of the hill cells, and also if you are controlling more hill cells than the opponent. The benefits of capturing the hill is that if you capture 75% of them, you immediately win the game, and also it increases the maximum stamina at the same time. So hills are extremely important. Next, we have beacons. Beacons, as I said, act as the teleportation. So, say you are on a hill, you will deploy your beacon over there so that you can come back to the hill from another beacon later in the game. To deploy a beacon, you have to have 7 of the 9 cells around you be painted in your own color. Beacons do not count as a painted cell, so if there is a beacon already in the 7 and the 9, that will not count as a painted cell. The one layer of the player's paint in the 3x3 region is consumed. Additionally, when you teleport from one beacon to another beacon, that second beacon is destroyed.
And yeah, actions. As I said before, there are many actions in the game. The first action is just a regular step. You can make a move. You can move 4x4 directions. So you can go north, south, east, or west. Each of these moving consumes some of your stamina per turn. Next is an erase step. As you said, you can also erase the opponent's paint in a certain location within your reach. Each stamina will cost you a large amount of each erase step will cost you a large amount of stamina. So be aware of that as well. Next is a paint action. So you can, when playing action of paint, which we'll discuss in course specifically, you can paint a cell at a Manhattan distance of 1. So and also you cannot paint a cell on top of your cell, on top of yourself. As I said, you can paint a max of 4 paint layers for any of the each cell in the map, and painting a cell costs you 15 stamina. Next is the collisions. So a collision occurs when both agents attempt to occupy the same cell. So there are many different rules to collisions, and collisions will decide the winner of the game. So first rule is if the both players try to occupy a same cell and the cell is owned by one of the agents, that agent will win the game. Second is if neither players occupies the current cell, it's a neutral cell, the player who initiates the collision will win. Third is erase steps cannot be used when initiating a collision. It's a bit complex, but when we get into the specifics of the game, we'll explain to you everything that happens in depth as well. But for now, let's just understand that collision is the immediate thing that will decide the winner of the game.
And collision is supposed to be very tactical because you have to always be cautious that the opponent cannot just make multiple moves and collide with you and kill you instantly. So you have to take that into account. If you are on a particular cell of your own color, then the opponent cannot do that because they will immediately lose instead. But if you are not on your color and the opponent can reach to you, then they will collide and win the game. Similarly, you can do the same thing where you
Yeah.
can collide with them.
Yeah, so as you said, collision is really like a single thing. A player, since you can move multiple turns in a single turn, if a player snipes you from like a farther direction, if they have enough stamina to move multiple times, and they snipe you, that's game over. So you have to be very aware of each move you make, so that if you make this move, the opponent can't just snipe you and win the game.
Also, just to be aware, you know, per turn, you can make multiple moves. You have to at least move once within a sequence of moves. And yeah, and you want to do bidding or
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just do bidding, and then we can go into the specifics of the game.
Yeah, so bidding, your agent must implement two functions, which is bid and play. The bidding is used to bid some stamina so that you can play the first move. For example, you may bid one stamina expecting the other person to bid zero, or so that you will lose your base stamina. So rather than 100, you will get 99, but you will get the first move advantage. So the person who bids the more between the two players gets to have the first move, and the other person does not lose the stamina in that case, who did not get the move.
Yeah, and we can talk a bit about the hardware that is provided to you, the resource constraints that you will have to face. So the ranked matches, which is like the basic or leaderboard matches, they will run on Ace Magic M1 and Ryzen 6800 H core mini PC. So each agent receives 3 threads, and the hardware availability for scrimmages, which is like test matches that you can do on your own time against other players, is not guaranteed. So you might or you might not get as many resources as you can for non-leaderboard matches. But for leaderboard matches, you're at least guaranteed to get these resources.
You will get the resources for the scrimmages as well, that's for sure, but they will not be guaranteed to be 3 threads or to be as much RAM as the rank matches, which is pretty strong computer. As for the turn system and time limits, a total game has a maximum of 2000 turns, where 1000 turns are played by each player. A player receives 10 seconds to initialize their player controller class, 20 seconds to bid stamina, and 180 seconds to compute the total time to play the game.
Additionally, after 1,000 turns, the game enters sudden death. This is special. This is special system that we have enacted. So during sudden death, every 100 moves, the base stamina regeneration decreases by one. So as you said earlier, in each turn you get a certain amount of stamina. But during sudden death, your stamina that you get in each turn will keep on decreasing. This is to basically ensure that the game finishes and we get a usual winner, and just to spice up the things as well.
Yeah, the decrease is not very huge, so it should not be a very big detriment. Lastly, we have the tiebreakers. So, if the game reaches 2000 turns without a winner, there was no collision, no one could secure all 75% of the hills, no one lost their stamina to be under zero, then we will decide the winner using the number of hills controlled by each player. So, if you're controlling 3 and the other person is controlling 2, you win the game immediately. If the number of hits controlled are equal between you, then we will use the number of cells controlled. If this is also equal, which will have a very low probability, then we'll use the remaining computed time. So if you use 200 seconds. If you use 50 seconds while the opponent used 80 seconds, then you will win the game because you used less time. Yeah, I know these rules were very long and quite complicated, which is why you have the access to all of the rules and you can check them at any time. Additionally, we will show you the docs to the game as well, which will make it quite easy. Additionally, we will show you how a sample bot right now, which Dean has made, so that you can see an example of that.
Yeah, till we get the thing started and like the next section started.
Do you guys have
If
any
you have any
questions?
questions, please let me know. I know we went through it really quickly, but yeah, if there's any questions, if not, we can move on. I guess we can move on.
Actually, yeah, he has.
Oh yeah,
On the application, it says on the regular set, if the target house contains a bonus rate, one layer is automatically erased.
Mhm.
So it's the erase step just removes all three.
Erase step removes all the layers, which is why it uses a lot of stamina. The regular step, if you are just moving through some paint of the opponent, it will keep removing them one layer at a time only though. And also there is a detriment to be moving within your opponent's paint because then you will not be able to locally gain your stamina because you are not inside your own paint. So there is a trade-off in that. Any other questions? Yeah, I guess we can proceed with the resources. You guys have probably checked the leaderboard section. This is going to show the different matches. This is where you can schedule scrimmages as well. And this is where you can see the rankings once the matches open up. Every 2 hours, every 4 hours, I think, we schedule a matchmaking event where you play ranked matches against four of the people who are ranked near you. So this is what decides the leaderboard rankings. And these rankings are used for the mid-season tournament to decide seedings as well as the final tournament. These rankings also give you an indication of where your bot stands, how good is it, how do you improve it, etc. Next, we have the resources section. So first, I'm going to just show you the docs. You can easily access the docs. It has the game constants. These are the exact constants that are game. For example, this has the constant of the base max stamina, which is 100. The hill max stamina bonus, where gaining every hill gets you 40 bonus. These constants are what will be used in balance changes after the mid-season tournament, because after the mid-season tournament we will balance our game even more so that the final tournament experience is even better. For these constants will be the one that will be fluctuated. Yeah, there are a lot of constants here, for example, paint range, paint stamina cost, etc. So you should check this out. Apart from that, you have the player board. Do you want to go and explain the documentation?
Yeah, so the player board essentially just gives you a friendly, a more user-friendly experience when trying to compute with your player moves. So so for the player A and player B, they have different parities, and player board essentially just computes with parity, so that you basically just instead of saying you're playing move for parity negative one or parity for parity one, you're just playing as yourself against the opponent.
Yeah, parity basically means if you are using the board from your identity or the opponent's identity, this is very important because when you are doing something like minimax where you are doing your move and then forecasting the opponent's move, etc., then player board helps in that a lot because you are able to easily switch the boards and see the board from your perspective.
Yeah. This is also why for your player controller, although the main functions are bid and play, you also might want to like have an init function where like it initializes a couple of variables. For example, one that gets passed in is the player parity, which you can use to like maybe check if a hill is controlled by the other player or something is controlled by the other player or by yourself. You can also store other things, like just say maybe like move history or something if you want to compute it for more strategic moves. You also can also add helper functions within your player control. They're not going to be called by the player. They should all be called by the play function, by the play function, such as like calculating legal moves, stuff like that. Because you do lose it if you make an invalid move.
Oh yeah, that's a very important thing. If you make an invalid move, you immediately lose the game. So that's an important consideration. Apart from that, there's the board. Playerboard uses this board, and Playerboard is a wrapper around it just to make your life easier.
This may seem like a lot of code, but I assure you, it's not. Once you get started in it, it'll get much easier. And a lot of it's like boilerplate code that you don't have to worry about. But yeah,
Yeah. Then we have the game structs. These basically tell you what type of moves can be played. For example, using action.move or action.paint, which represents the painting action. The location, which represents the row and column of a particular location. The direction, which is right now where you can move up, down, left, right, basically the cardinal directions, etc. Lastly, we have the outcome.
Game outcome. Okay, so basically you have the tiebreak, which you talked about, timeout. A valid turn, of course, is when you make a turn that you can't make and you lose immediately. And also, you have code crash, memory error. Stamina loss is basically if your stamina just goes below zero, and you just lose. And domination, it's when you have majority control over the hills. So 75%. So basically, at least 75%, and they can be really important because you're forced to guard your own hills, or it's the hills on your side. Because if you move away from the hills and the player just swoops in like using a beacon and then starts taking your hills, and it takes 75%, you lose immediately. Of course, you have collision where if you collide.
Oh yeah, one thing to mention is you cannot destroy another opponent's beacon. So that's why if you place a beacon at a hill, that's pretty powerful because now you can immediately teleport to a hill at any time. Obviously, placing a beacon is hard though because you have to have 7 of the 9 hills around you. Yeah. So these are docs which will be very important in the future for you when you are making your game agent.
and now we can get started with like a client download. I think we can all like if you're interested in participating, you can all go to our website, go to compete tab, and within the resources and download our client. We'll go through how to download the client, how to set up your first agent right now. And if you have any questions along the way, you can ask us and we can help you.
Also, we have a YouTube channel. That's where this is being streamed right now. The YouTube channel will have a lot of lectures that we will be posting pretty soon. For example, a lecture on how you can use Minimax in the game, a lecture on how you can use A-star search.
Yeah, basically all the algorithms you might need or like building blocks, we will help you through these tutorial videos to how to make it using our code base. And yeah, so as you said earlier as well, you don't need any like AI knowledge or anything. Just go to our video and subscribe as well.
Yeah, these lectures were what we used last year as well, and these were very helpful for us as competitors.
Yep.
Uh, this is the Google Drive that has a lot of the resources. For example, this has sample player files, the installation.md. This is a guide on how to install your application, the client terminal version. So you will have a client that is GUI based, and then you will have a client which is terminal based. GUI based is obviously much more easier to use because it's user friendly, but terminal based might be much faster and more comfortable for you. So we have developed both of it. Last year, half of the people used GUI, half of the people used terminal. So we knew we had to make them both this year as well. I'm going to start with a Windows client build. Mac client build is very similar as well, except for one command, which is right here, where once you install the Mac client zip file, you'll have to unzip it and in the terminal go into the folder where you have downloaded the file and put this terminal command. I'm going to download the Windows client and guide you through what exactly to do live.
Yeah, please tell if you have like any questions if you're stuck somewhere while downloading the content.
Fingers crossed this works because this is the first time I am
Even
doing
for
it.
us as well. We just launched yesterday.
Oh my god, the Wi-Fi speed is so slow here.
Yo. This might take a while.
Okay. I can create the event till then. You go to PowerShell. Can you go to the PowerShell? So also open the installation. Okay, so you guys should open the installation.md as well as install the a particular GUI client for you. The client terminal we will do after this. First, let us set up the GUI terminal for everyone. Install it if you are in Mac. Install the Mac version. If you are Windows, install that, and go ahead with the installation.md if you want to proceed in ahead of us. If you want to just go with us, then we can guide you on how to create the virtual environment, which is mentioned by the installation.md. Yeah, the virtual client will be made. So virtual environment will be made using this folder. You have to download the player files.zip. Just unzip. So unzip the file, open it in VS Code, or if you are on Mac, you can just use the terminal directly and cd into it. Sorry. Yeah. Just open it in VS Code.
Yeah, so once you unzip the player showcase zip folder, open VS Code, extract it somewhere.
Open the terminal.
Oh.
It's the 565 now.
Yeah. Yeah, so once you have that, we can open terminal. Now you want to activate our virtual environment. So for that, we should have a
Just a second. Open the player files, not the player showcase. You would have downloaded the player files.
oh, they're still downloading.
It's this
Player showcase.
changed.
Yeah, just a bit slow. The Wi-Fi.
That's the
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so this is what has the requirements.txt, which will be used for the virtual environment. So just open that.
So open player file. I'm sorry, we are bad. It's player file, not player showcase.
Yeah, so just open the terminal now.
And so
Player
we
showcase is the one with the controller as a player.
Yeah, player showcase has a sample controller. Player files is what has the requirements.txt for your virtual environment. So Python dash m when no, this is the command to install to create a virtual environment in your particular folder. You can find this command anywhere online. Just search up how to create a virtual environment in Windows. It's Python dash m venv and then the name of the virtual environment, which is myenv in this case. Next, you have to activate the environment. For activating the environment, the command. Can you type that out? What are you using command prompt or PowerShell? Yeah, you're using the PowerShell. So it's /myenv /scripts. Yeah. So it's PSL, not PKL. Can you run the command prompt? Maybe the PowerShell is not working. Yeah, there are three commands to activate the virtual environment, depending on if you are on command prompt, PowerShell, or Git Bash, which is why we are trying all of them right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
finally works.
So yeah, it is the command prompt for him, which is what that was the thing.
Yep.
Next, we have to pip install the requirements.txt dash r requirements.txt. It will be clear why we need this virtual environment soon. This is needed for the client because you have to tell the client where to get a Python installation from. Yeah, I think the download speed is just slow here because everyone is accessing the internet. And also, the computer is being overloaded.
Still,
Yeah.
still downloading. So yeah, we just wait for a while.
Internet is really slow.
But are like ahead of us or like is someone even following us? I guess no one's. Let's just do it for the imaginary person following us.
Yeah, I'll say because Mac is superior, this takes much less time on Mac. Oh, by the way, if you guys didn't know, you are allowed to use AI. There is no restriction on that. Obviously, we cannot even apply a restriction anyway. You can use it as much as you
Yeah.
want. It wouldn't help a lot anyway, just because the rules are too complex. I have tried using it. It
Yeah,
did
it's
not
like
work.
guys like doesn't even know the rules. Maybe you can if someone's like really cracked at using AI, maybe they can figure something out. But we couldn't.
Would it be fun, like, if you guys have AI just like fully vibe code a bot and we can like compete against it?
We can try that as well. I mean, yeah, that's. Or someone can have like a vibe coding team. I think I remember last year someone had like a entirely vibe coded team.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you can do that for your own self as well if that's what you want.
But obviously, if you want the prizes, will not maybe be putting in the entire effort into vibe coding. So yeah, we can see to that.
You guys have lectures on like reinforcement learning, like lectures on reinforcement learning.
We had that last year, but so this year we'll have to upload them again for this game specifically. Yeah, the virtual environment is almost ready. What's the next step? Oh, the next step is just unzipping the client. Yeah, you can unzip. I'll just go left to right. Just show them.
Oh yeah, you have a question?
what's
That's two.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have like a team matching event as well. So if you don't have any teammates, you want to meet someone else, we'll do that at the end. So yeah,
Yes.
you can go individual as well. Doesn't matter. Obviously, strict communicals is like half the work you gotta do, but if you really think you're cracked and better than other people, go ahead.
Also, if you want the prizes just for yourself rather than split it into team, compete.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
So for like the scrimmages, can you submit like two different bots and like have them fight? Like,
Yeah,
That
you
would
can-
be on the client.
Yeah, so if you
Yeah.
you can locally do that, you have like two quals you want to test against, you can just
That's what the client is used for.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
I deleted that. But
Uh,
yeah, you can go. Do you want to install, download, like create a virtual environment, or
Yeah.
so? Yeah, are you on Windows or Mac? Windows. Yeah. So I think it's Python.
Let me tell you the exact command.
Uh, This is Python -m vnv and then whatever name you want to create for your virtual environment. I cleared my history for CMD so I can go back, but just yep.
Yeah, we will also, after we complete the process for ourselves, we'll help with anyone who is still struggling with installing the client.
Is
Just
anyone
because
done? Just is anyone done like installing it or oh, getting some good Wi-Fi, bro? Oh, it's still down there.
Oh, can you try hotspot maybe? I don't know hotspot. Also, it won't be hotspot anymore. You have already installed everything. And then
I think so long. What is it? Does it take that long?
I don't. I think it's just the Wi-Fi struggling with the installation. Hopefully, this does not just stop.
Oh my god.
Okay, we are going to let this install in the background while we go to the GUI client and unzip that then. So we have downloaded the client. All
So
we
yeah,
have to do is open the folder, unzip it.
yeah, so you should have downloaded the Win Unpacked, and now we can extract it somewhere.
On Mac, it's just a zip file. You just download the zip file and extract it.
Yep. So we go in. Do we run?
Yeah, this has the ByteFight client 2026.
Yeah.
This is the application that's going to be used for the client.
Windows preferred. Yeah, it's the save application, so if you get like a virus thing, or any malicious thing.
Yeah, we did not install a virus.
So yeah, so once you run the GUI application, you should see something like this. This is where you can like test your box locally and see like a graphical interface as well. And there will be different maps that we will release as the conversation goes on.
Yeah, right now we have these maps. These are also the maps that you will see when in the rank matches on the competition, on the compete page, as well as the scrimmages on the compete page. Right now we cannot do this actually. So this is the next step where you have to set the Python path, the bots directory, the maps directory, which is by default. This is for when you create a map. Creating the map is a feature that's going to be added probably around Saturdays or Sundays, hopefully. But that's not something we need. The matches directory is for where the matches are going to be stored, same for the games. And the logs directory is so that you can see the logs for your games.
Before we go to this step, has everyone downloaded the Win Unpacked or the GUI application, or is still someone's downloading? Done, right? So we can move on. Yeah.
Okay, so the next step is this Python part. This is why you install the virtual environment and all the libraries in the virtual environment. Now we have to head this Python part to that virtual environment location. Can you open the?
Yes. So so successfully downloaded our packages, and now we just have to.
Now, if you check the installation.md, that mentions it as well. What you have to do is find the particular folder where your Python path will be. This is in the directory. Can you do pwd?
Yep.
Yeah, this is the folder right now. We have to go into the virtual environment. Can you do cd vn? Actually, you can just show from here as well, maybe. Yeah, if you see the scripts file, this is where you can find the python.exe. This is the exact location that you have to put inside the Python path. Just copy the location.
So yeah.
Copy path. And this is the path that you will put into the ByteFight client. For Mac, this path will be different. You can find the path in the installation.md. It's basically the virtual environment slash bin slash Python 3 or slash Python 3.11, whichever you want to use.
Yeah. Is anyone stuck in this step or we move on? I guess we move on.
Okay, now you will save the change just so you can add the Python path. Now, to run the client, we still need a bot right now. I'm going to use a sample bot that Dean made.
Yes, we also have a sample bot. If you just want to see after this presentation how bots are made, you can go to that as well. So that's an player showcase file in our resources.
Yeah, actually, this has not been shared with you right now. This will be something we'll be sharing very soon.
All it does is it bids, like I think 10 stamina and paints and looks right.
Do you want to explain this bot before, or do you want to just run it and then explain?
We can run
You
it.
can run it and then it's folder ready.
No,
Don't let it work.
What do you want?
I don't know what you do.
we have to put the bots here. You choose the zip folder. Huh? Right. Zip folder. No, this is the showcase one. This is save on six. Shows up like that. Yep. This is the file. How do you know this is a file?
Okay, what do you need?
Yeah, okay, so we need to. Can you go back? Sorry. This is the folder. This is the player showcase folder. For example, we have the particular bot inside this player showcase folder. The bot is made using the init file and the controller file. So we will copy the location of this folder. Go to config, and in the bots directory, we have to add the particular directory for the folder. Remove the colons because we don't need that, and just save. Yeah, we should be able to import the bots now. Game. Run. Just refresh maps. Refresh bots. What the heck? No, this is not the one. Oh, no. It might be. Oh, you have to be outside event player showcase. What is this? This is the location that I have to. So folder was in. Oh, we have to. Okay, where is this folder? It's in downloads, right? So I'm going to copy this. You can also, by the way, rather than going through the config, you can just import the bots as well. The config is very useful. Adding the particular folder for the bots is very useful because you can just add that at the start or make all your files inside that and test it easily rather than having to import every time, which is why I'm having this first rather than importing the bot. I'll create a new folder. Just create a new folder. Make it box, please. Typo here. So we created our own bots folder and added a sample bot to that, which is called Player Showcase. We'll just go to the bots folder and copy the path for this folder. In the you will just refresh the bot so it accesses the new folder. So Player Showcase is the name of our bot. This is the folder that has the init.py and the controller.py. We'll just run a match between Player Showcase and Player Showcase on the disjoint map, for example. and you can easily start the game. And it has started the game. Allow. Yeah, Windows Firewall is being a little messy in that.
Yeah, this is an example match. Example map that
Yeah,
we have.
the match is streaming, and once the entire map runs, you can also just slow it down, go move by move, see the exact logs. So if you are printing something, that will show up in the console. Yeah, it will show you the stamina, the territory that you have, the time, etc. You can, after this game runs, the game is going to be very huge, just because the bots are actually painting stuff. We'll explain what the bot is doing after this as well.
This is like actually like a really high speed. You can slow down the speed as well once the game runs. Oh, finishes running.
Yeah. And that's about it. Yeah, it's a very long game.
These bots are just sample bots.
It's because these bots only move in paint. Nothing else.
Yeah, because these bots are not handling collision and just moving and painting, the match goes on for so long, and it actually completes to the entire 2000 turns.
Yes. So once the match finishes and you want to get like a replay of the match, you want to see how if your strategy worked or not.
You can just drag the bar down. You can start from the beginning using the play button. You can start at 1x speed or increase the speed, etc. And once the entire game runs, also every turn you can print stuff out so that you can see why something worked or why something did not work. For example, if you want to print if particular minimax algorithm is working, you want to print some stuff out for that, you can print that out and it will show up in the console tab. Throughout the thing you can see how much stamina you have, how much territory you have, etc. You can even print out why the stamina is changing. In the matches tab, you can access the all matches. For example, if you ran 10 matches, you can access them here. Apart from this, we have the queue tab.
These are all the matches that are in here will be run in future.
Yeah, it's to queue of matches. And yeah, that's it. That's the game client. This is basically where you will be testing everything locally. And if you are satisfied with your bot, then you will upload it to the compete page using the submissions, which I'm not sure if they are open already, just because we wanted to open them after the opening ceremony.
And yeah, so does anyone have any questions setting this up or yeah?
Like, I can get the example bots running on this, but they're not painting or doing anything.
Yeah, because the example bot doesn't do anything.
So that's not.
That's a
Yeah,
different
that's not
bot.
the
That's,
example
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a bit better than example.
The example bot just makes random moves,
Oh,
and the random moves are just for up, right, left, and down. Nothing else. That's why it doesn't paint, it doesn't force collision, etc.
that makes sense.
Yeah. This player showcase bot is a sample bot, which Dean will be explaining next of what it does, and then we'll be sharing this bot with you as well.
Show the code.
Can you open the player showcase in Visual Studio?
So now we're gonna move on to the next like actual player code discussion. Before we go on, has everyone like finished setting up their client, or is anyone still stuck somewhere?
Oh, were Mac people able to set up their client? Okay, thank you.
All right, now we can move on to the
Also, does anyone have Linux here?
I guess now.
Okay, no. Okay. Linux installation is something that.
All right.
No, you can go ahead.
So yeah,
Controller.
You're explaining the different files.
really quick.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, you have the player controller class. I'll say the main functions are init, bid, and play. So init obviously it passes in a player parity and the time left. You can use it. The main thing with those variables is you can use those variables to check stuff. So let's say you want to check if the hill is owned by you or if the paint is owned by you. You use the player parity passed in, and then you also have time left obviously basically like calculate the moves you want to make and basically for strategy. You can also initialize other things. Let's like an array that passes that stores like your past moves or the past enemy moves, and so you can like use it in your calculations, especially if you're using like an A bot or a bot that does more than just moving around. You also have to bid. Of course, the thing with bidding stamina is that the more stamina you bid, the higher you can. If you bid more stamina, you get the first turn, but that stamina is then deducted from your 100-point base stamina. So it's a bit of a risky thing, but yeah, you also need a bid function. And you also and then the third main function is play. So play is essentially it's what the game calls to get your players moves. So of course for play you can move around, you can paint, you can place beacons, you can just also call other helper functions like checking for collisions, looking at the board and seeing what other moves, what strategic moves you want to make. Let's say you see that the enemy has left their hills, you would then want to make the strategic move of going towards those hills, capturing them, and winning their domination. And yeah, and these are just like and these are the helper functions, for example, that are being called in play.
Yeah, so just a recap. Play is the main function that you will basically code up. This is what's called an every turn, and what our engine uses to get what we want to make move for this. What's the action are for this turn? Within this, you can have multiple like helper functions. Like let's say like a helper function for like running a minimax for defense, attack, or a star path, etc. And
Yeah, just to lastly mention, there's also a commentate function. This is important because if you want to see what your game did on the compete page, you will not be able to see the logs as the same as the client. Instead, you will have to use the commentate function to commentate every turn. So if you want to say commentate that you were in minimax and you found your opponent at this position and you forecasted a particular move, etc., then you will use the commentate function to be able to see it on the competition page. You cannot see it right now. That's something we'll be working on tonight to add that to the game render. Yeah. Now it's time to set up the bot if you want to create a player bot.
yeah, so
And this is the also the time where you will
this
be.
is like a time where you can create a first sample bot. If you have like if you're so confused on how the entire thing works, you can just like
Ask for help right now.
ask for help. So you can open a player file where you can see a controller. For now, you can just do like a random thing that just plays a random move, and just play with that bot. And later on, you can like make it more complex. But at least for now,
Wait, I have not uploaded the player showcase. Let me upload the player showcase. That way you can get the player controller and the init file that you can easily use directly. Also, if you want to find teammates, this is the best time to do that as well.
yeah. If you're still alone, if you want to find another teammate for your team, you can meet people around you. Just for the survey, how many people over here have already have teams? Can they raise their hands? So I think most people do. So those people who are alone, they can probably talk with each other.
If you want, obviously, if you want to compete
if you
solo, that's
want to
fine as
compete
well.
individually, you can do that as well.
Yeah, I've uploaded the player showcase.zip file. This is the zip file that you will use to get a sample controller. This is the one that has the init.py, controller.py, which will you can use easily. You can delete out this other stuff. For example, in play, you can delete the sample stuff if you want to create your own board on your own board. And yeah, if you have any questions to set up your first board,
Has everyone been able to like run the example like game in the GUI client or everyone fine? Like you have an example bot, right? They have a
yeah, for the GUI client, you guys have an example board. It doesn't paint or anything, but you can use it to test your client. Lastly, there's the terminal client. I actually do not have experience with the terminal client. Um, do you know? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so can you open the terminal client in Visual Studio? The installation MD also mentions how to run the terminal client, which is pretty simple. You just have to use run game or run game script. It gives you the exact command to run. You have to find the folder though. Which one? Find terminal. Yeah, this folder. Open this folder. Client terminal. I didn't extract it. Yeah, and if you guys need any help setting up any of the clients, let us know. If not, you guys are free to leave. Yep.
Does anyone really want to know how to set the client, the terminal client, or is it just trying to do